Well, all right, and welcome back to Two Bald Dads. That's right, it's Two Bald Dads time. Set your watch to it, guys, every Thursday morning. We're like a strong, sensible haircut, something you can set your watch to. And today, guys, you're in double trouble, okay? Because you're back with myself, Chris, and as always, I'm joined by the big show himself, Matt. Welcome back, Matt.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me. A strong, sensible haircut, something that neither of us have the ability to have. So I don't know why you would use that analogy. But we are back for another one of our video episodes, or as you know, I've been calling it, Chris, our video magazine.
I really wish you'd stop calling it that.
Our video magazine sitting on the digital shelves of the internet's library, YouTube.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. And we want to thank the 3 to 4 viewers that tuned in this week to watch our video magazine.
One of our friends said he digitally read our video magazine just so he could see that one number tick up from 7 to 8. So big shout out.
Thanks, guys. We really
the groundswell has been undeniable.
Really appreciate it, guys. And all the guys that tune in every week on the podcast, I see you.
Yeah, we're checking you out. We're checking you out.
I'm so sorry, guys. Look, I'm a little bit fluey. I've got it from my son. And,
God damn it.
And you know what, Matt? It doesn't matter where he got it from, okay? It doesn't matter where he got it from or which one of his good friends gave him this sickness that I now have again.
Pointing him. Okay, well, it is not my fault that you, sir, a grown-ass man, have the immune system of a small dog.
I am actually starting to be genuinely worried about my immune system because...
Maybe that liver score from a few weeks ago was like really affecting you and you never knew it.
Oh, guys, but we're here.
We're here. Get used to it.
In living colour, and we're pumped for another big episode. Guys, we've been doing this week after week. Mm-hmm. We're parenting. Some could say we're getting progressively worse at it.
Yeah, you would think they say 10,000 hours makes you an expert at something, and I don't know how long I've been parenting, but I'm whatever an unexpert is. Yeah. I'm an unexpert.
No, that's right. We're still learning, guys. Learning week after week.
Every day.
Every single day.
And sometimes we're learning, forgetting, and relearning.
But, Matt, do you know what I always say all the time? I say this all the time. Most of the time I say it. I say, you learn something new every day.
One of yours is...
I actually came up with that.
Did you? Wow, that's a Chris Wall
original. Yes,
a Chris Adam Wall original.
Yes. Still, Adam is not my middle name. But
well,
thank you.
We'll see. We'll see what we can do about that. Would you consider changing it?
Yeah, no, I probably would. Look, but I want to rip right into it, Matt, because we're not here, like I've said, time and time again. We're not here to dilly dally. All right, we're here to offer up sage advice to give the people what they want, what they come for, what they thirst for. Sage advice.
Yes. And completely disregard the fact that we just said that we're getting worse at parenting. That was just a bit of a joke for the lulz, for the pod.
Yeah, because we're actually hectic
really good at it. We're actually really good. One of us a little bit better than the other one. But, as this episode rolls on...
That's really nice.
As this episode rolls on, I think it'll become clear...
Yeah.
Who's the better dad?
Yeah, okay, cool.
And I think this is why
finding out.
why we really started the pod, so we could subtly gauge who's doing a better job as a parent.
Oh, well, because at the end of the day...
You learn something new every day.
At the end of the day, parenting is essentially just a dick measuring contest to see...
It certainly is. It certainly is.
Look, my child's better than your child. Notice that? My kid's doing this before your kid,
Exactly.
And you know what? And there's those subtle digs at other parents to let them know that they're not very good parents.
Yeah, it's like that time I accidentally paid out that child for not having hair. All those episodes ago.
Yeah, that was real early on in the piece.
And I'm glad to say that the child does have hair now.
Does have hair.
Congratulations.
Very, very red, much like my son's hair. Very red, but it's great that they have hair now, despite all the bullying from Matt.
Of course. My wife actually said that about your son. She said, I love his hair. People pay to get their hair that colour. And I said, who? Who pays?
People,
who pays good money for that?
My son,
Look, I don't. Look, he's adorable.
Matt,
He's a little person.
you know who's paying good money for that? Harry Potter fans. You know,
The Ron
Weasleys of the world. you know?
Okay.
They are the Ron Weasley enthusiasts are paying big money.
And
for
that's
that.
why you and Shaz, when you guys got, your baby cloned from a Ron Weasley sperm.
Yes.
That's you guys went. You said, "Give us the Weasley."
The actor who played Ron Weasley, Daniel Radcliffe, he had his eggs frozen,
Right.
and then my wife impregnated those eggs.
Wow.
I believe is how it works. So,
Okay.
So technically, we joke he's not my son.
So
but,
you're like the J.K. Rowling of
essentially, yes.
Yeah, incredibly transphobic.
Yes. No, it isn't, Matt.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. So.
Well, look it up, okay?
Look, but Matt, you're stalling. You're dilly-dallying again.
I know
like
you just said we're not here for dildo dallying, but we are. Do you want to go with your dad moment of the week?
Could I?
Okay, you go.
Stand by. Guys, my dad moment of the week this week wasn't really a dad moment. It was. Well, it was.
Well, then don't bring it up.
It was a moment. So let me set the scene for you, Matt. I had Friday off. We had a long weekend. Mm-hmm. I had the Friday off because we were heading away early. I was waiting for my wife to get back from work. But my son goes to daycare every Friday. Now, given the gastro, the hand, foot, in mouth, the other various strains
ones
of
that you don't even know
influenza,
about.
My son's missed over a month of daycare, but yet we still pay our contributions every week.
Yeah.
And then I had the day off, and then I'm like, my wife actually suggested it. She's like, put him into daycare. Just put him into daycare, and you can get some stuff done around the house, or whatever I want to do.
Sure.
And can I just say, putting my son into daycare and having a whole day. Well, it wasn't like it was like it was like a morning.
Yeah,
but just. I didn't actually. My wife gave me a list of things to do, so I want to say I didn't know what to do with
Lots
myself.
of chores, but
I had heaps of stuff to do, but I'm like, it was actually quite refreshing.
It's just being in. When was the last time you were just in your own house by yourself?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Yeah. What was that? Sorry?
What'd you do?
I did lots of chores around the house. Yeah. Stop raising your eyebrows at me. A lot of personal reflection. No, look, guys, I'm just saying, I just want to give a shout out to the dads or mums out there, the mums that are listening. If you have that opportunity, just to give yourself a few hours just to yourself, put the feet up.
What did you do?
Go to the gym.
You went to the gym.
No, I didn't actually go to the gym. I slept in. I got stuff ready for our weekend away.
Cool.
Which we'll touch on later.
Yeah.
We'll touch that later.
But
I kept very busy. And then all of a sudden, the day's gone. It snuck away from me.
Yeah.
But I was like, what a great little morning.
It sounds like a pretty tidy little Friday.
Yeah. It really was. Thank you, Matt. That was good.
That's all right.
I'm jotting that.
Could you?
I'm just jotting. Tidy Friday.
Now, there was a rumour going around town that you treated yourself and went to the barber.
No.
Can you confirm or deny?
Denied.
Denied?
Denied. I tried going to the barber, and there's a...
They said, come on, mate.
Yeah. They looked at my shit beard, and they're like, look, but there's really no point in us doing anything with that.
We wouldn't feel comfortable.
They're like, the guy said it kind of looks like a white dog shit on your face sort of thing. And I was like, that hurts my feeling. Now I went down to the local barber, and there was one guy cutting facial hair, and 3 dudes waiting, and he was chatting. Yeah, which is great. Yeah,
more time cutting, less time strutting.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what I always say to my barber.
By the time he's finished chatting and cutting for these guys, it's going to be an hour. And that was my morning off, Matt.
That's your morning. I know.
I don't have an hour to kill.
Yeah, exactly. So. You don't want to waste it. No, you're right. You're not going to, in your morning off, you're not going to sit down and waste an hour.
100%.
You probably want to come home and watch TV for an hour and sit down.
And put my feet up.
Yeah.
I watched The Wiggles.
Did you? Oh, jeez, I miss my son.
Octonauts. I'm like, I wonder what he's up to.
Yeah.
But no, I really like the barber. I really like the barber experience. We got a proper cut over in Perth where he like really did it nice and neat and stuff. And I was like, hey, cool dude.
Yeah, talk about polishing a turd.
Yeah.
But I thought, we were next to each other in the barber chair, and you and him were having a chat, and I think we covered this already, but it's the thing I don't like about the barber is the small talk. And one of the times the guy that was cutting my hair had been smoking, and it wasn't a super pleasant experience to have his smoky fingers under my nose cutting my moustache. Made me uncomfortable.
Made you itchy for a cigarette.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I went out and bought a pack and smoked them all right there. No, that's good, mate. I'm glad you could have that time. I think you deserve it. Yeah. Hey, I see you, Daddy.
Yeah, thank you. Please don't ever say that to me.
Daddy. But I think it's really important to have that time alone.
Stop that.
If you know what I mean. I know what you're getting at.
No, look, man, it's not about that.
I saw you on Friday and you seemed awfully relaxed.
I was very relaxed. I was relaxed from a really relaxing morning.
I bet.
But Matt, enough about me. Enough about me and your insinuations about what you think I got up to on my morning.
I'm just saying, I've known you for many years. I know what you do. I know what you're about.
But Matt, your dad moment to make meek.
Is this 2 weeks in a row? Is this 2 weeks in a row?
It is 2 weeks in a row, and I'm struggling. It's the fatigue. It's the influenza.
Yeah, you need another day off.
Yeah, that's it. Am I right, guys?
Just on that quickly, I've seen how you parent, and your whole time is a day off. You don't lift a finger around here, you pig. So I think your wife deserves a day off, and I'll be telling her before I leave.
Okay. Speaking, actually, Matt, I meant to get feedback over the weekend. I think our wives have dropped off from listening a little bit because there was some confronting things you said last week that about your wife, and I thought I can't wait to hear her response to this. Didn't bring it up.
No, she didn't bring it up, which is good.
Which says to me she probably didn't listen.
I know. So, girls, if you are listening, shut up and tell us if you heard it.
Yeah.
So
Look, I might flicker a message. Just be like, hey, what did you think of last week's episode?
Can you believe that he called you a bulldog? Is that what it is? I told her. I had to tell her. I had to get out in front of it. And I said, only in your tenacity.
Yeah, of course.
Only in your tenacity.
No, exactly right.
She's very tenacious.
She's like a bulldog.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. One of the most tenacious dog species. Anyway, Chris, I don't really have a dad moment because I've been on a weekend away. I tried to tell you that, but you forced me to come up with one. So I want to tell you about a story about a time when I have been working from home, which affords me the luxury of having that time alone. I'm joking.
I can't do it, baby.
No, you can't do it. That's like the accents of the facial moving world that you can't do. Are accents racist? I don't know. We'll get to it in another time. But I was sitting at home, and this is, there has been a move towards like bin diving has become less taboo.
Because of the return and earn thing.
Because of the return and earn thing, yeah. So for our international listeners out there, and the government's done a big push to encourage recycling. So they offer return and earn. So you return your recycling to these big collection bins, and they give you 5 cents or 10 cents for every. I can't say I've ever done it, but it's a lot of recycling to get much out of it, But if you're tenacious enough, You know who's a big return and earner?
Your wife,
my father.
Yeah, he strikes
me as like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. But nowadays, and we're in a townhouse row here, so every Monday night, there's someone rummaging the bins. I
live in a high density area, so it's just like row after row of bins, and it must be like it's like landing on Mayfair. In Monopoly.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like
expensive.
Exactly. Yeah. But like the second the bins come out, people are there. They're like waiting for them. They know the schedule. They must have like the strata guys on the phone being like, when are you taking the bins out? It's John the bin diver. Here I am. And I don't mind Like, you know, you do what you do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna sit here and yuck someone's yum. But there was this one man in particular. The only ones I don't like is if they leave the bins open or they like throw some shit on the floor, which some of them do. You know, there's a few bad bin divers that spoil their whole reputation.
Spoil it for all the bin divers.
Exactly. Yeah. But there was this one guy that turned up, and he was cut from a different cream, I believe is the saying.
It certainly is it, mate.
He just pulled up middle of the road.
Yeah.
Put his car, like, just left his car running in the middle of the road, with radio just blaring. Well, it probably wasn't the radio because I don't think they played the song that he had on the radio. Very much so, even though it's criminal and that they should. So he was playing the theme song, the WWE theme song of Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, titled Sexy Boy.
Which is a classic song.
Which is a classic song. He was blaring that as he was bin diving.
Yeah.
And the lyrics go along the lines of, you know, I'm just a sexy boy.
Sexy boy.
Thank you. I'm not your boy toy.
Boy toy.
Things like that. Just about how women love him and stuff.
Yeah,
and I was like, there couldn't be a more juxtaposing fit song. This does not fit you.
Yeah. What do you mean? Chicks love a bin diver.
They do love a bin diver, but there was a wrestler called Duke the Dumpster DeRose. So his theme song probably would have been better. He was a bit of a bin diver himself.
Yeah.
I just thought I was sitting there doing my work from home, and I thought, boy, that's peculiar.
Yeah.
And if I ever get put on the spot, I'll probably bring that up.
Yeah.
So that's why I've done that, Chris.
Okay.
It was a weird time, but it also got me thinking maybe more bin divers should have theme songs.
Yeah. So it's like their entrance music when just before they're about to jump through your
and you're like,
bins.
oh, here he is.
It's like
or she is.
Yeah, or she, and it's like.
Exactly. And it's like, here comes my favourite bin diver.
Yeah, this is my favourite. Oh, I can't believe he's here.
He only takes the beers. Oh my God, he's great. So anyway, if you are the sexy boy bin diver, get in touch. I would love to talk to you. Hit us up at twoballdad69@hotmail.com. And again, guys, it's been a few weeks since an email, and we're pretty keen to get one back. Microsoft said they will shut down our account if we don't receive any traffic on it.
So I just want to take it back a moment there. So before we started recording, we were just saying, do you have a moment? Yeah, I've got a moment. Do you have a moment? Yeah, okay. And Matt goes, I'll probably bring up Sexy Boy Bin Diver. Almost as if everyone should know what Sexy Boy Bin Diver is.
I feel like it's my duty to get Sexy Boy Bin Diver's name out there. But where are you, Sexy Boy Bin Diver?
Just in the very casual way in which you dropped it to me, as if Casual Boy Bin Diver. I mean, Sexy Boy Bin Diver.
I mean, I'd love to see Casual Boy Bin Diver as well.
He's pretty cruisy around. Yeah. He leaves a lot of bottles in there. He's like, no, that's good stuff, Matt. And we look forward to your future adventures. I mean, you're only going to be in that place not that much longer. So we've only got a few more weeks.
Where are you? Come back to me. But Chris, as you alluded to, our topic this week is our little weekend away that we had.
The Getaway.
So you gave us a bit of a prologue, and I suppose we'll do the log now, and then we'll sum up with an epilogue.
Okay, thank you, Matt. We this weekend we teed this up a few months ago because now that you're with child and just in a relationship in general, things are very rarely spontaneous. You know?
Yeah, there's a spontaneity really dies.
Yeah, so everything is planned well in advance. So it was planned well in advance. We had 6 couples go down for a weekend away down the south coast, the sunny south coast.
SoCo.
We were SoCo 2021.
And we were SoCo 2021.
So we organise it now. We had some logistics issues in terms of organising it because we're like, do you get a large house? My original plan at the caravan park was you can get cabins. Yeah, you get a bunch of cabins. Everyone can have their own space.
And you know we don't stay in cabins.
No, I know.
We're not a cabin people.
And Matt was like, is there a glamping option?
Yeah,
perhaps?
Exactly. Exactly. I want to stay in a lovely yurt.
Yeah. Please. But Matt did say a lot of these things. But anyway, but we were back and forth a little bit about what the best option was. Anyway, we ended up getting 2 units next door to each other, 2 3-bedroom units. So we had 5 couples in the 2 bedrooms. One stayed separately, and then after the first night, we then lost another couple.
That's true. They were dropping like flies to begin with.
So Matt was in said unit. The said unit. So they had 3 bedrooms, 3 young kids. Your child was the eldest.
Yep.
Out of the children.
Pretty impressive, isn't it?
That I'm impressed. I'm impressed by his age. But the logistical nightmare about sharing walls with other couples and other small children. Now,
even just sharing your room with your child at this stage. And now, Chris, I know you won't understand this. You famously slept in your parents' bed until you were 19, where they finally asked you to leave.
Yeah.
But that's not for everyone, and that's not for us. So we went away from this thinking we'll only go away where we can put him in another room.
Yeah.
And I think most people would prefer that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker, but we would certainly go for that option. The first night was like a zoo in there. It was a fucking nightmare. It was like you've gone into the owl area of the zoo at night and they've all just chirped up.
Yeah.
And it was just like I don't know what it was. My son, he's just recently started saying mummy and daddy. Probably would have been a good dad moment now that I'm thinking about it. But
the sexy boy bin diver was much better.
The sexy boy bin diver wins out still. But like we went into bed and he was asleep. And then as we got into bed, he woke up and decided, "F this, I'm going to cry out for..." And it's bad when they're just crying, but when he's like going, "Mummy, daddy, mummy," you're just like, oh my God, it was hard to ignore before.
Yeah.
It's even harder to ignore now, but I did my best, Chris.
Yeah.
I did my best. My wife, God love her, she's a kinder soul than I am, so she attended to our child. And it was at the point where we brought him into bed with us, he would scream. We put him down, he would scream. Whatever we would do, he was unhappy about it. But it was happening in the other room next to us as well, because it's not just us. We felt bad for the people on either side.
Exactly,
We don't want to wake them up either. But the people, we didn't even know. We had our own problems.
You didn't know the other people in the other room?
No, exactly. It was such a surprise. No, but we didn't even know.
It was like a hostel.
We didn't even know they were going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Because we were just so focused on our own thing. But I'm sure that the other people who weren't having a bad night heard every second of our kid crying. And I felt so bad about it, but I just don't know what you can do. The only thing we could do is just not sleep in the same room as him, because the second he wakes up and he sees us in the room, that's game over.
He's alive, yeah.
That's game over.
Well,
he's excited to see me, Chris.
I know, which is great that he is. But my son's excited to see me too. And it's like he hasn't, much like your son, hasn't realised what bad people we are. Because no one is that excited to see us.
No, never.
Ever. But the tough thing about that situation is that in your own home, in the other room, if they're crying...
Yeah, you can leave it.
You're like, he'll wear himself out.
Yep.
But when you're sharing a wall with someone else, you're going, you're going to wake him up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Just shut up. So you're running in there. I'm so disappointed you're going, grabbing, going, shh, be quiet, trying to silence them, but sort of...
But which is what we never do at home.
Exactly. From a settling point of view, it's actually a pretty bad thing to keep doing, is to attend to them every time they make a noise, because then you're like... They
get a real boner for it, don't they?
Love it. See, my wife got woken up. She was sleeping, and the porta cot was literally right next to her bed. And about 2:00 in the morning, Jessie was like touching her face.
That is not what you
he's
want.
standing up in the cot, and he could see her. So he's like, "Oh yeah, it's on here."
His mum.
And then he was like just touching her face, and she's like, "Oh." And then so she's like, "Go to sleep," and then goes to lay him down, and he starts like yelling, and then she's like, "All right." Into bed. And I'm not a big child in the bed thing.
You do? I just said you slept in your parents' bed till you were 19.
No, sorry, it was in my child.
Oh,
not in my
okay,
bed.
yeah.
Of course, I sleep in my parents' bed. It's safer.
Yeah.
But we very rarely, because you and I are larger frame gentlemen. Like I'm pushing 100 kilos.
Yeah. I'm pushing the other side of 100 kilos.
So if I roll over onto that 10 kilo child, he's dead. Yeah, mate. That's all I'm thinking.
It would not take a lot for us to smother them. And that, does that make me feel powerful? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
to be able to hold that life in my hand.
Yeah.
Be able to crush it like a bug.
So I think we've learnt from this, if we're going away, try and get somewhere, like it's great to have one big house.
I think the cabin options is probably the way to go.
Yeah. I think those rooms, like, so if you can get a big enough house, there's some, like we saw one up at the Hunter Valley, but the rooms are really spread out across the house and stuff like that. I don't know, those sorts of things.
Even one with like a walk-in robe, because we stayed away a while ago, and we had like a walk-in robe, so at least we just had that separation. That's the biggest thing. As long as he couldn't see us, so he doesn't know. But that was the story of night the first. I think there were a few, like I felt like I had been out on a bender the next day. I was just so tired. And it was one of those ones where you're watching the clock and you're like, oh my God, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, I know he's going to be up at 6, like he always is. That's not a lot of sleep.
Yeah. No. And the broken sleep sucks. Every parent will know the broken sleep is the worst. Like it's shit. And it's so hard to, unless you've got time for naps and stuff during the day, it's until you get that full next night or whatever, you don't really recover from it. But that's all right. It was, again, learning experiences. This is our first couples and kids sort of thing, getaway. So all the kids are really close. But there was another thing about, there's a range of children. So the eldest child was 2.5. So handsome Scotty, who was in last week, his eldest is 2.5, nearly 3, I think. And he's got another little one that's like 10 or 11 months. So they had 2 rooms between them. So toddler, Scotty, and then his wife and the other one were in the other room. So, but it was really interesting, and it was really eye-opening and interesting to watch and spend a lot of time with his toddler. They talk about like your terrible twos and stuff like that, and I'm watching this going like, this is exactly what Jesse's going to be like. And the thing is, like, his child, Scotty's child, is like such an adorable kid. Super sweet. Adorable. And he's like, Scott's like, say hello to Chris. He's like, hello, Chris, and stuff like that. He's cute as, and then the minute we're sort of going to do something and it just isn't in his favour, he just has like a meltdown, and it's just like, this is just your
he's like a gremlin. He's that super cute, fluffy gremlin, and then becomes. I've never seen it. No, I've never seen it, but I assume that's what it's like.
No, but I'm looking at that going like, I am not far off this. This is going to be my world any minute now.
Tiptoeing on the precipice of that.
And we were down at the local shops, and Scotty's kid had a meltdown in front of everyone's there having their morning coffees on Sunday morning or whatever it was, and he wanted to ride the bike and he didn't want to ride the bike. And Scott goes, well, fine, you're not riding the bike, and takes the bike. He flops on the floor. He's throwing his hands up. He's going, and these kids can belt it out.
Yeah, they're good.
They got
some lungs on them.
For a small body, loud. And all these people around having their smashed avocado and things like that. And they're going, oh my God. So we were obviously incredibly helpful to Scott. Like, we would just watch from afar and say things like, oh my God, whose kid's that?
Yeah. Well, I sort of wanted to make sure I was distancing myself. Yeah. I didn't want to be associated.
And then I'd say things like, oh my God, how embarrassing for those parents.
Those parents must be bad parents. Must be.
And Scott was like, thanks, guys. This is super helpful.
Thank you for the guilt trip as well, on top of everything.
But I actually all I could think about when I was watching him have his meltdowns, I was just like, this is going to be my son. Yeah, I've got probably another 6 months or something, and then this is going to be my son. I
mean, we're already getting there already. Like, your son can say no now. Yeah. Obviously, it's a little bit after my son.
Obviously.
But
it's like his favourite word. Everything's no now.
See, now that we've got mummy and daddy as well, like, and he was saying mum and stuff, but now it's like he'll point at me and say daddy or whatever. Yeah. He can really play us off against each other. They're
clever, aren't they?
Yeah, the girls went on a girls' day on the Saturday, and we said, look, girls, you treat yourself. Mm-hmm. We'll take the kids. Geez, what a role reversal, but we did it because we're that kind of guys, and we expected nothing in return. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't expect a day of our own. But
Except for just a quiet 12 hours to ourselves
sure,
on the following day.
That's Anzac Day. It doesn't count.
Yeah. Geez, we're good to them.
Yeah, we certainly are. As long as they were home to help with the bedtime routine, that was fine.
Yeah.
But my son, who, as we have spoke about on the show, and your son, he plays favourites really hard, and he's, generally a pretty big fan of mine.
Yeah.
He was so upset that his mum wasn't here the whole day. He was standing by the door looking at me going, "Mummy, mummy," and I was like, that is tough for me.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I'm like, "She's coming home soon, mate," and he's just like, "Mummy, mummy." I'm like, I'm here.
Oh.
We're usually pretty tight.
Man, and how relaxing was that day when the girls were out and we thought, let's go down the park.
Yeah.
Let the kids run
Oh,
wild.
my God.
We'll take a few ice cold beers down and just sit on our blankets. And you used the term very correctly last week, herding cats.
Yeah.
I was just like, we're just hovering over these children. And also the playground down there was like a 6 to 12-year-old.
Everything was lifted a foot off the ground.
Yeah,
I was like, this makes it impossible for these kids to do anything.
Yeah.
And the good part was I barely saw anyone because I was, always
over there,
about 80 metres away chasing my son around. So
And then I was like trying to suggest to my son, I'm like, how about we just have a sit down and have a drink? You have some of your water,
and
Dad will have some of his special juice.
Yeah, even worse was that we were like being overlooked by one of the most like idyllic pubs in New South Wales that was super inviting.
Yeah.
Boy, it
looked beautiful.
It looked so
Weather
inviting.
was nice. The beers looked delightful.
And while I was there chasing my son around after some seagulls that he's got no chance of getting.
He never getting those seagulls.
He needs to give it up. But
God, he tried hard, didn't he? He tried good and hard.
But we're fast running out of time. So much to the point that we've gone over time.
Okay. Tis the season, but mate,
no, it is.
Tis the season for giving, and that's what we're giving the people.
Exactly. What would you say was your highlight of the weekend?
Oh, geez. So, I don't want to say the Sunday.
It was the Sunday, wasn't it? It was definitely for me too. Same for me.
It was pretty good. Look, I'll be honest with you. The whole weekend overall was pretty amazing.
Averaging it out.
If I could strongly suggest something to anyone out there, new parents, trying to go, if you're not going away with your parents, like the grandparents, which would probably be my first choice now,
easier.
Take a grandparent away.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Here's our son. You don't mind looking after him for an afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
We go out.
Go to that really nice
grandparents love that sort of thing. They love getting involved. But that'd probably be my first choice, take a grandparent. I mean, Scotty does it everywhere. His wife's mum's with him all the time. So much so that he calls her the nanny, which is great. So Fran Drescher.
Oh, okay, right.
Because they look so much like, she looks so much like Fran Drescher.
Fran Drescher.
And she's the flashy girl from Flushing.
Is she?
That's what I've been told again.
Big nanny fan.
But if I could suggest anything, I'd probably go your own unit / space.
You need 2 rooms to call your own.
Yeah, 2 rooms. I would go, if you do share a room with your child and they're alert enough, like they're not in a bassinet or whatever, they're alert enough, I would strongly suggest some sort of partition.
Yeah,
if you can,
I know. You need some sort of privacy screen.
All you just need is a privacy screen, so that way they physically cannot see you.
Yeah.
Right? And then I think you're good to go. I would strongly suggest, and this is, again, one of our favourites, and our wives absolutely loved it, was the Gals' Day and the Boys' Day. Instead of all of you being on all the time, let the gals have an afternoon where they're not on. Yeah. Because they actually came back and they were pissed.
Sure.
They were
well,
not upset. Not upset. They were well inebriated, and I imagine there'd been some chatting. You know the girls.
You can imagine.
Yeah, they love a chat. But
women be chatting.
Yeah, they love. Am I right, guys? But no, they absolutely loved it. They got home just in time to see the Bubs go to bed, which they also loved. But
got to chip in.
We watched a bit of footy. But watched a bit of races. But then we had our own day where it was. And I think that worked really well. Like, I could strongly suggest that to anyone. Instead of you trying to do everything together, which is great to do everything together, you tend to find one parent, more often our wives, does more of the parenting.
And I'm just glad I was able to organise it all for everyone, and I didn't mind doing it.
And you're a good bloke, Matt, and we appreciate it.
Hey, look, I live to give, as 'tis the season. But yes, I would concur with all those things that you said, and also just like it's a lot of effort, but do it.
Yeah, do it.
It's good.
Get away. Treat yourself.
That's our sage advice for this week.
And also,
this could be our slogan: just do it.
Just do it. We should copyright that.
I like it.
I love it. I know where you're going. But the other thing was like looking at the little kids. You know, like one of our friends had like a young 6 months or something.
About that.
About 6 months. Super chilled.
Oh, I was so jealous.
And I was just like, I kind of like I took that stage for granted.
Yet. He was like, he's just rolling. It's like they're a bit fun.
Yeah.
They're giving a bit back.
They got neck control.
But they can't go anywhere. And I was like, this is the best.
And they look at you, smile, feed. That there's no nose coming from them.
There's no talking back.
But look, we had a great time, and thanks to all our friends that came out.
Just a big fuck you to the security guards at Huskerson Pub as well. On a personal note.
Is it because you got kicked out?
Yeah, very unfairly.
It was unfairly. I mean, racial profiling.
Thank you.
They saw it.
That's what I said.
They saw like an Eastern European gentleman having a great time. This
guy's going to get angry.
And they're like, it's pretty racist of them to pick you out.
I know.
And be like, geez, would you get a load of this Macedonian bloke? We don't take kindly to your folk around here.
Exactly. So anyway, I believe the guy was ethnic himself, but that's fine. I tried to give him the brother, let's, us against the world. But he wouldn't budge on it. But anyway.
He's like, mate, we can only have like a quarter ethnic people.
We were well over the quota here. But anyway, a big stuff you to them.
Yeah,
but
nice
Chris, we are heinously over time here. So you hit me with your dad joke, Mr.
Funny Man.
Mr. Funny Man.
No, that's what they call me.
They call me jokes, man.
They call me Niles. From the nanny.
From the nanny, yeah. I know, with all the quick one-liners.
Everyone reckons I look like him too. No one's ever said that. But look, guys, this is episode 13.
Oh, unlucky for some.
Dad joke of the week is now. Matt, did you hear about the restaurant on the moon?
No, I didn't.
It's got great food, but no atmosphere.
Good, a physics joke, I guess. A physics joke?
Sure, man, sure.
Good for all the scientists out there.
Elon Musk sent that over to me.
Did he? Good stuff.
Look, guys, thanks so much for tuning into another episode of Two Bald Dads. We really appreciate it. If you got any feedback for us, get in touch on the Instagram, email, Matt's face, YouTube now.
Yeah.
If you want to, we've had one very negative comment on YouTube, and we appreciate any feedback, Brian.
Sure.
Thank you. But no, guys, we really appreciate getting in touch. But guys, thanks again. Until next week, I'm Chris.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll see you another time.
Aloha. It means hello and goodbye.